Another day, another rescue.
He better be worth it.
This'll be easy.
Tranquility is taking heavy fire. Repeat. More getting shadow over.
On it.
Load him up.
Here we go. Contacts all over. Nice work. That's the last. Heading into the station.
What the hell is that?
Break, break.
Aim for the breakers.
Got it. Doors open.
Nice work.
Heading in.
Oh, not a lot of room in here.
Saying words.
Guys, stay focused. Hit the cooling units.
We gotta move faster, guys.
Yeah, felt that one.
Shit, it's getting hot in here. Last one down.
The core's exposed. I repeat, the core.
Take the damn shot.
Breach point set. Initiating release. Tranquility, targets away.
Nice work, team. We are moving out.
Guess he was working.
Oh God, Hex is down. I repeat.
What the?
Incoming, incoming.
Are those blades?
Manual fighters. Multiple contacts.
Move it, fighters. There's one on me, guys.
Shake him off, Foco. I'm taking fire. I'm in. Punching out.
Someone call for some backup. Hell of a fight you've picked. Fight is inbound, Tranquility.
Come on. Oh, hell yeah. Let's tear 'em up. This one's mine. Let's go, bags. That all you got?
Going down to touch now.
Everything on that mauler. Burn it.
Fire!
Don't stop. Keep firing.
Hello, greetings. Welcome back to the Soul Citizens. I'm GriffinGamingRPG. Today is Sunday, May 31st, end of the month, and we are back for our second half of our show. I am joined today by our good friends, or my good friends, the one and the only fastcart FC. FC, how are you?
Good. I'm everyone's good friend too. That's fine. Just
Yeah,
don't ask me just don't ask me to borrow money, and we're good.
Fair enough. And also joined by our good friend Kelosal. How are you, bud?
Yeehaw.
Yeah, ready for part 2? Oh, well, it's good to have both of you guys here with us. And thank you guys for being here with us today. Those of you who've been hanging out from the first half of our show. Shout out to Trip Rodriguez, who dropped in a raid of 35 viewers. Thank you so much, Trip. We appreciate you as always and hope you are doing well. Hope your stream went well, too, because I know you were streaming. Let's jump into it. We just got into this this opening video here of what they call the TSG, the Tactical Strike Group. It's just one of the many elements that were dropped in for update 4.8. And so what we're going to be doing is kind of going through the checklist of all the things that were listed that were in this patch. We're not going to cover everything. By the way, I always want to recommend to folks that people do put out shadow patch notes that give even more detail about things that sometimes aren't listed. They're kind of like those things that are done in the background. And so I would always kind of recommend that you guys check out shadow patch notes whenever you can, because it's always really good information. But we're going to just kind of hit the highlights from this particular patch as best we can. And it's always great when we have several people on, because we all don't get to cover everything that's in a patch sometimes. And let's just talk about this a little bit. Before we get into the topics, I want to ask fastcart, and I know the chat will have something to say about this, but I'm going to ask fastcart and Kelosal. How are you guys feeling about patch 4.8? Yeah, I'm not going to say what I think about it first. Let me get your feelings about, the launch, its status, whatever you guys want to say. Kelosal, I'll kick off with you on this one. Have you had a chance to monkey around in 4.8?
I have. I really don't have any good or bad things to say about it. I mean,
You haven't
I
had
can
any
say,
problems with it so far for you?
yeah, of course I've had. The what Foxy was going through. I went through that about a week and a half ago.
Oh, okay.
With it. I couldn't load in. Of course, now we're teaching with schools out over here, at least in some parts of Florida. Florida's not entirely out. Certainly, we have 65 counties, and my county is one of the ones that is out. I haven't been able to play Tactical Strike, but 4.8 I have been able to play certain aspects of it, refueling and things like that. I think it's good. There's some missions busted, of course. That's in every patch. So as far as experiences, this isn't the worst.
Been too bad for you. Okay, that's fair. FC, how about you?
My biggest interaction with 4.8 was DefenseCon, basically. And maybe, everyone knows about the Ironclad. I'm one that had the base Ironclad, and I had the issues with lighting. I didn't know about the lighting. I didn't know lighting was an issue until I got on. And I was like, this thing darker than just me. What's going on here? So I thought it was just on my end, but it turned out to be the whole thing. I mean, the other thing is with patch 4.8 is that was a big wipe. that it occurred. I mean, it felt like during COVID, it felt like there was a shortage of toilet paper. That's how big that was. That was a big wipe.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got Kelosal. So yeah, other than that, I'm like, I started out. I had like like 3 million alpha UEC before the wipe, and then I went back down to 40, 39,999 alpha UEC. It's back up a little bit because I'm doing things here and there, but I'm not looking forward to trying to get that money back. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Wipe all the time. That's what I say.
I would say that I feel like CIG did too much in this patch. There was a lot of stuff going on in this patch. And if I were to break it down to the things that was a lot, I would say DefenseCon with launching 5 new ships was a lot. I would say Tactical Strike Groups was a lot. I would say the wipe was a lot. And I would say the new loadout system was a lot. And I feel like some of that stuff should have probably been a 4.8.1, 0.2, 0.3 that they were brought in. And also the free fly, right? So don't get me wrong. We know the free flies are done particularly not just for ship sales, but also to get analytics, to get folks into the game. And they do it during the convention because a lot of players come back to the game. So they get a lot of activity going on where they can get numbers and analytics and stress the servers and all that stuff. But there was so much stuff, and it's an interesting tightrope to walk, because it helps them refine and get things fixed and find stuff, but it also puts a toll on the players if it starts to become too unplayable. And so, to me, TSG didn't have to happen. I would have loved to have seen TSG become the 0.1.2, right? I could have seen that later. The ships were going to come in. We get that with DefenseCon. But the wiping of money is not a big deal to me as much as it is the fact that there was a big reset for everybody. There was loss of ships. There was all these things that disappeared. There was armor and weapons that people have had stored for the last few patches. All this stuff gone. And then there was also just the recent introduction of crafting. There was a whole lot of stuff that came in with this patch. And considering that CIG is doing these patches in 60-day intervals, there's still a lot of work. I mean, just because we get this patch, they're already working on 4.9. So to me, it was like, y'all might have did a little bit too much. As great as it was to receive all these wonderful things, it's jack of all trades, master of none, right? If they're not working, it can become very, very, very frustrating. So we're going to go through some of the list of things and talk about them in what little detail we can share with you guys, okay? And of course, if you guys have some thoughts and stuff, we are happy to see what you have to say as well. Let's go through the very first one here. And that was gameplay. We had 3 things here, guys, and you can pick whichever one you want to talk about. There was the tactical strike groups, there was the G-force tolerances and the new flight suits that came in, and then there was the refueling missions and improvements. Fastcart, I'll go to you first on this one. Pick one, whichever one you want to talk about.
Flight suits and the changes. Typically, we do Soul Station typically on Friday, and we have our uniform, right? It's a heavy armor, so. But during DefenseCon, I decided to use regular clothes and flight suits and racing suit. I had the Origin 350R racing suit from previously, so it was. I mean, maybe okay. I typically wear heavy armor, like I said. But switching to a fight suit, I felt like I was like the $6 million man running through the hallway because that's how fast I felt. So that was a difference. But I don't know if it was like that beforehand or that's one of the changes that happened. So I felt that. But also they had flight suits on sale at the event. I didn't pick any one of those up or any of the off the store on a website because I have plenty of suits at the moment. But seeing them, that's something they typically save for the last 2 days, like the best of.
But
they had them on.
You couldn't get them. You couldn't get them.
They
weren't sold at the convention center like normally. You could buy flight suits in the store.
Right?
You could go to the store and buy them, but they weren't in the. I thought the same thing too, right? When I first saw them displayed out.
Yeah, I saw them. I thought they were available, but I didn't try to pick them up because I had so many. Yeah. So thanks for letting me know. So even then, that's a change. Okay.
Yeah.
It's the flight suits.
Yeah. Okay, the flight suits. Okay. Kelosal, how about you? Any one of those? Any of the 3 on your head?
So I didn't partake in the tactical strike group yet because I haven't had the time. But now that I do, I either try to get in with Soul Citizens or join in Test Squadron, Best Squadron. The boys have been highly active in the last several weeks. Shout out to Test. The refueling missions I have participated in. That's part of the reason why I bought my Starlight with Misk, best company of all time. And I really enjoy what they've done with Misk, their setup, their design, and every new ship Misk puts out just makes Misk even more appealing. And finally the missions that you get to participate with in terms of refueling ships, I can finally refuel NPC ships and things like that. I thought when they first put it out that it was just way too limited in terms of even with a starter, it should be more fuel that you can put on your ship. I think in a later patch they did increase it, but then I found out that there were containers, different size containers, just like they have different size joints for your refueling equipment and pods for your mining. There are different size refueling tanks for your Starlight. There's a 20 SEU, there's a 30 SEU, things like that and so forth. So, but once again, since they wiped us, which they should have, thought that was a good thing. I thought they should have wiped basically for all the reasons that we know about. it made it a little bit more complicated to buy them, because I think one of them is almost 200 grand or something like that, or to get to the top tier, 200, 300 grand, somewhere between that. And at that point in time, I was just hitting 200. The missions are easy. You do start to get a little bit more after you finish a couple, get past the junior rank or what have you. So good event. I love the refueling missions with the NPCs and stuff.
Nice. And also, I have not done the refueling, but I know that they did update the UI, and they've kind of brought it back a little bit from some of the complexity. I guess it's still engaging enough to keep you busy. Some people love the amount of interaction you had previously, but I did see that on the Starfare they did the updates there as well. So the new interface UI for refueling is in the game now, and it is, like you said, Colossal, it's mostly NPC based right now. And again, I know people have been hollering about the fuel, the amount of fuel, but Colossal touched on it. They're modifying those numbers. And listen, y'all, modify the fuel on ships is going to change again. Don't get too used to it. It is going to change again.
Don't get attached to it.
Yeah, the dependency for refueling that's a gameplay loop that CIG is going to bring in. They're just letting you fly across systems right now. But I guarantee some of us remember times when you had to stop 2-3 times going across the system. So it's going to change again.
What tier number would you call it refueling at? Tier 2? Tier 1?
I don't know. They've changed refueling so many times on ships, like how far ships can go, their range. It's about
I would say when they
major time, I think.
Right, when they implemented the actual UI for it, was with the Starfarer, right? When they finally implemented the UI for it, put a little separate console away from the bridge in the bridge, but on the side.
Right.
This right here is, I would say, the next iteration of it.
Yeah.
So this would be a 2.0, I believe.
Yep. Oh yeah, as far as that goes, as far as the UI go, this is the 2.0 for it, because it was designed to have the which we haven't seen yet, the refinery side on the Starfarer. It actually has 2 panels on there, one for fueling and then one for refining. And then there's still other aspects of storage that the Starfarer, and I'm sure even the Starlight will be able to do, because they're not just refuelers. They also could be used to transport other items and other liquids.
Yes.
And if you go back and look at the old Starfarer blueprint, it actually shows that it carries cargo boxes. So
and it was modular,
Yeah, it's modularity. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff still that's coming with those ships, but it is nice, to Colossal's point, it is nice to see that come back in. Tactical strike groups. The one thing that I have not done, actually I've not done any of these. Well, I've done the flight suits because I've had to fly around. But I know that our group in Soul Station on Friday nights has been doing the tactical strike group stuff, and it seemed like they were having a lot of fun with it. I'm not sure if it was playable all the way through without any hitches or any problems, because I didn't get a chance to ask anybody. Did you hear anything, Fastcart or Colossal? Were they able to play through the missions? I know some of the folks in like CC and them, I know you guys are in the chat. Were you guys able to play through that? It's playable. Okay. CC says
it is playable. And I watched Bert.
Okay.
I watched Captain Bert do it. And that was his first time doing it, just about a week and a half ago. Okay. And he actually got to see the Mauler. Okay. On that piece. It was it was a long event. It was good. Yeah. But yeah, it's playable.
Okay. That's cool. When I saw it, CC was going through the tunnel, where you go in where the reactor thing is. That was when I saw it, so I never knew whether or not they made it to the end or not. But it seemed like even though we kind of knew a little bit about what this mission was going to be like, it seems like it has really fleshed itself out pretty well. So I'm happy to hear that. That's good. That's good news.
I just want to share clarification. It was Burt Black. It wasn't Burks. It wasn't Captain Burks.
Burt Black. Captain Burt Black. Yeah, not Burks. Gotcha. Okay, next up is ships and vehicles. There's a bunch of these, but I'm going to go through just a few of them at the beginning here. We know that item recovery was brought in. This is the thing where we talked about with your ship loadouts, right? That when you lose your ship and you get it back, you have the option to pay to have your ship restored, or you can just let it come back in a stock format. The CIG has talked about for a long time. Obviously, the Ironclad and the Ironclad Assault were introduced. The Drake Command Module. And the reason why we're saying Drake Command Module is because it was given for both the Ironclad series and it was also given for the Caterpillar. So it was a great update there. And then the Aegis Hammerhead was brought to gold standard. So You guys want to talk about any of that?
Gold standard.
Yeah, yeah. The hammerhead. Why you don't think it was brought to gold standard?
Go ahead, fastcart.
Yeah, no, you go ahead. You got stuff you want to say. Get it out your
I
chest.
mean,
What's the issue with the hammerhead?
We're waiting on you.
I just look at the Tiburon, and I mean, Tiburon's a great ship, but the Aegis hammerhead itself, I guess all the components. The only thing that I question is, what about the crew area? Those doors, the beds used to close. They're still not closing. So I don't know if that's gold standard. Is that meaning gold standard or not? They closed years ago when they put it out.
On the hammer?
And then and when you go to the crew quarters, you got those beds like you do in the Idris, right? The bunk beds.
Wait.
Okay.
Idris or hammerhead now? Which one are we talking about now?
Well, it's the same type of bed. They got the same type of beds. They got a bunk bed, right?
In the
hammerhead.
Game. You talking about the video? You talking about in the
video?
No,
that was not a video, Griff. I literally went in there and literally peeked over to the side, and it said open or close, and I closed it, and it dropped.
Okay,
it was available.
It was a privacy. You said it was a privacy thing in the privacy.
Yeah,
okay.
it was available, and they took it out years ago. Haven't put it back, and they're saying gold standard. And I'm like, where's that piece? Because every time I go in, I go straight for the crew.
Maybe they ain't gonna do it no more. Maybe it's not gonna happen.
I mean, it's in their vertical slice for Squadron 42.
Well, they told you Squadron 42 ships are different.
The old ones, but it was in the Aegis hammerhead.
So okay, so you said because that one item in there, it ain't the gold standard. You sounded like you know who about them rotating engines on the freelancer at this point. So
it ain't gold Aegis. Get it together. It ain't
okay, but you do want that. You would love to have that feature in the hammerhead.
That would be fantastic. Yeah, I mean that could help out with the player. We're talking about logging in and logging out. If it's closed, we know that bunk bed is being occupied.
Okay,
I think Carbon-Tail is backing up Kelosal. Carbon-Tail said bronze is not gold, Griff. Carbon-Tail called it the bronze standard, not the gold standard.
Bronze. Oh yeah. Okay, FC. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, we were talking about these different things, though. Pick something off the list there.
I already talked about the Ironclad. They had a dev post, couple of dev posts saying that they're addressing the issue. We don't know when they're going to be addressed or when it's going to be fixed, but they know about it and they're looking into it.
Yeah, my question. I ain't talking about the problems. I'm asking you, what do you think about it, though? This is introduction. We're talking about the introduction of the Ironclad.
The introduction. I like it. I mean, it's big. It's big. It's bigger than I thought it would be. I'm having second thoughts about it only because they told us that they were increasing the SCU, and you could see it on the page. It's another thing to see it in the actual game, right? I'm like, oh boy, 2200. Okay, this is what 2200 look like. Oh, okay, maybe I can deal with it. I'm going to need help on that ship. That's the conclusion I've come up with. But I think once you get the lighting and everything fixed in it, it should be a decent ship. Hopefully, it'll be a decent ship for me anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Kelosal, anything other than the hammerhead comment? You want any of these other things that we got up there? You good? What was your comment? Or your comment was the hammerhead? Because if it was, I'll talk about the other thing.
Well, I'm always skeptical on gold standards. Whenever I see gold standard, I'm expecting for pretty much everything functional and everything they took out to be back in the game.
Well, let's clarify what they said. But gold standard is. They said gold standard is not the final rendition of the ship. It is bringing the ship up to current state. So that means that there's still more, right? That there's going to be more modifications. So maybe to your point,
cat has
maybe
toes
that might
and
happen.
blah 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 and so forth.
I'm just saying that's what they said, because people think that gold standard means it's finished, and it doesn't.
Right.
It does mean that it's just brought up to current day standards. So there's a lot of ships that we have that still fall into that category, where ships, for example, you may see it looks like the component is there, but it's not physically there. It's not physicalized. There are a lot of ships that are like that. The hammerhead was shown to us almost 2 years ago with this idea when they were first introducing fuses. In fact, the hammerhead was the ship that they used it for, but we didn't get that until just now. There have been plenty of other ships that came before that. To
my point on gold standards, we have been around long enough to where we've heard that term used with video games. and development. And I just think that there could be a better term than their definition of gold standard applying to ships.
Okay.
I guess when it comes to inventory or things like that, there's still some problems. Item recovery, I still have some items that I haven't recovered yet. I'm still waiting for paints for my Starlight that some people
that's a
have
different
that I
thing.
don't have.
That's a different thing. The item recovery
Right.
that they're talking about is in relation to the insurance thing, right?
Okay.
But to
I've
your
tried
point,
that.
that is a problem. That is a problem
So-
with items being lost
right.
in the database.
So going into that, I've tried that, but then I don't know if it's a bug or not. I don't know if it's just if that's what they want. When I go ahead and I just want to go ahead and just purchase the default items, right? Ensure default. They're just default items. I know it's just not worth purchasing, but I went ahead and did that. And you would think that item would go away. It stayed there and allowed me to do it again and again and again. The same defaulted items that I just insured, I could insure again 2 seconds after I insured it. So, and of course, it was taking away money. Like I said, I don't know if that was the intent. I don't know if that's a bug, but that's something that is good. See that there, it still needs to be worked on.
Worked on, yeah.
Go
ahead.
I will say real quick, for me, it's like whenever I saw that new icon for credit insurance on the fleet manager, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to change anything because I don't have the money right now to insure or buy anything new. So I'm just going to leave it like it is and just hope I don't get blown up or anything like that. So yeah, that was my experience with that.
Well, until you start doing modifications to your ship, you don't have to worry about it. Right, because because what you're insuring is when you've updated, when you put new weapons in or upgraded components, and you want to get those items back. If it's your stock stuff, it's not a big deal, right? Unless you just want to expedite it, it's not a big deal to do it. My concern about there's some issues with the vehicle, with the item recovery in relation to the bricking of ships. My concern when they announced that they were doing this, I was very excited that they were finally implementing it, but I put a caveat in there, and the caveat is that the game needs to be stable enough so that people aren't losing their ships because of no fault of theirs, right? So if somebody brings their ship to the hangar and it disappears or it goes unknown, now they're forced to have to spend money to bring their ship back with those items, and they didn't do anything to make that happen. And I still think that's an issue. That is still an issue. Yes, CC, or it just blows up, right? You're just not doing anything and your ship just blows up. Now, mind you, that's a part of testing, and I get it. But with the limited funds that people have, it could be very painful, right? When people only have 20,000 in their bank account when they start. Once you've got some money, you say, okay, whatever. But I wish they had maybe done that when people had tons of money. That way, when people got lost their ship, they had plenty of money to say, okay, I'll just go ahead and spend it, because folks had these millions of dollars that they just had laying around. But once they wiped and implemented it, I felt like it might put a strain on some players in the game. So that was my only concern about that. The Ironclad Assault, great introductions. Terrible introduction to the game, though. Do you guys think that CIG... It's great that we're not dealing with concept ships. Ships are getting introduced. Do you think CIG still needs to put these ships in the PTU, or at least with Evocati, before we get them? Because the issue with the Ironclad, that one sucked. And I'm not talking about the lighting issues. I'm talking about one of the big features that we knew people were looking forward to with the Ironclad was the fact of the new module. And CC Creator I was watching him play, and he was having a great time with the ship. He was doing cargo runs. Everything was great, except for when he wanted to quantum. Soon as he wanted to quantum, the ship detached itself. That to me would have been spotted in PTU, would have been spotted with Evocati. Do you think CIG needs to go back and let these ships go back and be tested before they introduce them to the live servers?
Well,
I would say for Evocati, maybe not PTU, but Evocati, because they have an NDA.
Yeah, at least Evocati.
Yeah, so I would say both. And the reason why, to your point, going back to what you were saying earlier about things happening in live that people didn't have any money for, they had it in PTU, where they gave people 15 million. And
no, but they didn't have the ships. But that wasn't in PTU for them to do that. The Ironclad wasn't in there for that.
I'm not talking about the ship in particular. I'll get
Okay,
to
I
that in
got
just
you.
a second. I'm just
Oh,
talking
you're
about
referring to
the
the
other things.
loadout thing.
Yeah, the loadout and things like that. A lot of times they do put it, and I hear a lot of people. I may be wrong. Maybe they don't put the 15 million. I know the 15 million is definitely
No,
in
it was.
Evocati.
Yeah, no, it was.
But
It was.
if the 15 million was in there, that's the reason why they want you to spend that 15 million, is to try all the things that you normally would not be able to do once you get in live if you don't have the resources. Going back to the ships, yes, I do believe they should have those always in those types of servers, a PTU or an Evocati, particularly both, because you got more people in the hands of the PTU. What I hear from people a lot of times, their argument is, which is a failed argument to me, is I don't want to try the PTU, I'd rather try it in live. So
Yeah, a
okay,
lot
so
of
if you
people
have
say that,
700,000 AUEC in live versus 15 million that you could have used in PTU, and then all of a sudden it gets to live and you start complaining about you don't have the resources where you had it in PTU, but you chose not to do it. So that's the only complaint I have about that type of stuff. But yes, in ships, those types of ships, anything they bring in should automatically be put in the test server before it gets to live.
Okay, that's fair. All right, some more things we've got here that got added in was the ship hangar service got brought in. Weapons, ammo, munitions, and component adjustments were done. And then ship armor and shield balance. Fastcart, go to you. Any of those in particular?
I haven't experienced anything of the.
None of those.
Well,
You dealt with any of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
So can you tell me what the ship hangar service is? Because maybe
Yeah, that's that when people land now on certain ships that have hangars that they can read
Oh,
armor and fuel and
yeah.
stuff to them now.
Okay, right. So that seems like a nice addition. I went into someone's interest, and I flew in. I didn't participate in any of these services, but it would be nice to know that it's there now. So yeah, that's cool.
Okay. Colossal, anything on that list for you?
Heard about it, seen about it, have not experienced it yet with the ship hangar services. I see a lot of people taking out Idrises. And of course with the ironclad with the area in the back, because everybody's trying to experience that piece. What I heard was, well, if you just put a leg on it, are you able to refuel your ship? And people are experiencing, yes, if you get something on
people
it.
are trying to put medium fighters, all types of good stuff in the ironclad, trying to get the fuel
putting in the sink and the kettle too, and trying to services. But I mean, which is fun to see. I don't know if that's intended by CIG, but things always get worked out in the end.
There are several ships that's been added to it. I think it's the Polaris, the Idris, I think even the 890 Jump, and the Ironclads, and there's one other.
What about the Carrack?
I think the Carrack is. Does anybody remember? I can't remember if the bay in there, the 600I, 600I. Yeah, the Carrack. Okay, the Carrack is it. Yep, they said the Carrack does have it. Yep.
Thank you, God. Okay, now I can jump in my Carrack.
Yep. There you go. Okay.
Just get my cartography, CIG. Get that cartography working, please.
I don't know what the details are with the ship armor and balance. Not the newest details. We know that CIG has been adjusting these numbers and stuff. Now I know that armor reductions, or was it armor, got reduced by 20% across the board with ships, but there have been adjustments on the other side. So we're still not at that point. Oh, and Starlancer too. Thanks, Envoy. This whole balance thing with shields and armor is still not where it's supposed to be. So please, folks, don't get too flustered. We go through this thing of, sometimes the ships, they're so tanky we can't do any damage. Then there's those times where you shoot something and it just blows up and doesn't seem like it took anything to do it. That's still a part of the balancing process. And I know it's very frustrating because it changes. But I don't know what the details are on this patch that they did, other than I know that they did the 20% reduction on ships. That's all I really know about on that. Let's see. Next up, 7 new player hairstyles. I have not gone in and seen these. I don't know. I did see one where someone had a new hairstyle and they talked about it was a more natural looking hairstyle. And it seems like CIG has kind of gotten away from the hairstyles that are kind of the more, I don't want to say Euro cuts, but they're very, they're more fancier and wilder. And, well, they some of them lean toward the whole cyberpunk look, and some of them are very futuristic, and then some of them are very, they've been creating just more versatility, plain stuff as well as that stuff too, right? And it's nice to see the CIG. I know it's, for some people they could care less, but they told us that they were going to be. They did one particular show. And I remember when they did this one particular show on the hair design, and there were people who were just throwing out hair, like, why are they wasting time doing a show on hair? But that one group has been putting out hairstyles every patch just about. So
Yeah.
I'm glad to see
Because
that
there
they
are
have been sticking
people,
to that.
yeah, there are people who will spend an hour or two or 2 days
Half a day.
getting the
Yeah.
character they want.
Yep.
So let them have that. Good Lord, what else
Yep.
do you not
And-
want them to see? You know,
And
I
make
mean,
sure,
go
and
ahead,
make
that's
sure
fine.
you back up and upload your export character onto the cloud somewhere. So if you ever lose your hard drive, because that's that's the issue I had. I had to take my PC in, so I lost my character, but I got to recreate it. I still haven't done that yet. But I'm looking at the hairstyles right now. 4.8, they added 8, like you said.
Okay.
One of them looked kind of, well, looked like
Where are you
a
seeing them at?
messiah.
Where are you seeing
Oh,
them
I'm
at?
looking. Oh, I put it in there. Hold on. I put the link in here. Maybe it'll come up for you. But I'm looking at the progress tracker.
Okay. Thank
There
you.
you go.
'Cause
So
I
yeah,
hadn't
I'm looking
seen
at.
them. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
Oh
the,
yeah,
the
you
one.
got Jesus Christ in there. Yeah, that's pretty
Okay,
cool.
thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah,
I didn't want to
that's
say
funny.
it.
That's funny.
I was thinking it. I didn't want to say it. So yeah, you can look like a messiah in the game now.
That's funny. Yeah, okay. That's what they look like. I'm gonna have to go into the thing like you said and take a look at them. Those are neat. Okay. A little bit different. Some of them are kind of standard looking things, but that's very cool. Okay. Alrighty. Next up. Weapons and armor. There's a new FPS weapon, the Ultiflex crossbow. New FPS weapon, the Castec Arms plasma grenade, and also the new flight suits that we talked about earlier as well. Kelosal, I'll go to you first on this one. Which one of those you want to talk about? Uh-oh, did we lose him? I think he froze. Yeah, he's frozen.
Oh man, he did freeze. Okay.
Yeah, he's
He did
frozen.
freeze.
All right, well, I guess he'll come back. His internet must be. That's what happens when y'all. No, I ain't gonna say that because I'll make some people down. I'll make some people upset. I'm not gonna even say that. That's kind of, I'm gonna go to you. Any of those in particular stand out?
I'll
for you?
take the I didn't actually experience it, but I heard people. Well, I've seen the videos and stuff like that of Castec Arm plasma grenade. They sound like fireworks going off. Some people complain that it didn't have enough bass and the sound, and I kind of agree. I mean, it sounds too much like fireworks. It didn't sound like something futuristic, or it didn't have that immersive sound. So maybe they can go back and fix it, or maybe they're happy with how it sounds. I'm not sure, but the plasma grenade, they look cool.
Okay.
If you get too close to it, when you fire it, you can kill yourself.
Yeah, I heard it's pretty potent. Yeah.
Yeah, so you got to be careful. I
So,
mean,
so when you
but
throw it, does it leaves a residual thing, right, for a little while? Is that what it is?
right,
when it does it?
Yeah,
Okay.
residual. Yeah,
Oh.
and someone tried to like approach it while it was still going off, but they got too close, so
Gotcha.
they got caught up into it. So I mean, it's like a cool area effect, but I gotta say, it seems like it had limited use unless you're really careful, really planning out where you're throwing it to, because you can get hit by friendly fire real quick with that thing.
Wow. Okay. Well, no, that's good to know. I heard the same thing, but I have not seen it in action. I know CC was going into a bunker the other day, and he was kind of having a pretty challenging time with the NPCs. And he told me he put that thing to use, and that kind of helped clear the house for him. So that's kind of cool to know, right?
Or maybe this will help you solo those missions that you can't find help to do. I don't know.
Yeah. Like I said, it's got an area of effect to it, so that's kind of cool. The weapons and armor piece for the Ultiflex crossbow. I have yet to see this, but people said this weapon is deadly. I don't know what the balancing is going to be like for it. My thing, I did see a video of someone using it, and I know I talked about the fact that crossbows, the way they usually balance out crossbows, because they are usually in most games very lethal. First of all, they're silent, so it gives you an advantage of taking out someone without someone knowing where it came from, and also the power behind it, especially for headshots. But usually the way they balance it is they make it so that the load time is the factor. So you can't rapid fire them, right? You can't go pop, 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 pop. Usually there's a pop and there's a reset time. And then, and that reset time can often be the difference between you being taken out or something along those lines, right? If you're not careful. So when I saw the video of it being used, it seemed like it was a little fast for me, a little fast, like they need to slow it down just a little bit more. Because I think that when you have a weapon that's that powerful that you can one-shot people in a helmet and take them out, there needs to be some, when someone drops, you need some time for people to start looking around and seeing where did it come from. But if it's happening too fast, then it becomes an OP item.
So my question real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think they need to add glint to it?
Yeah, right. CC Creator said, I
Go ahead.
went hunting in Pyro for today. Right now, it's still OP. He one shot taking out a heavy, even if you shoot them in the leg. Yeah, that's pretty powerful. Yeah, if you're taking out folks like that, if they're in heavy armor, that's a little bit too much.
And he also Viking said that they stood inside the plasma grenade. The first time barely did any damage. Second time got him down to 4% health. And not once have you been killed by them. So
wow. Okay.
Maybe they tweaked it. So yeah,
Yeah,
you can run from the effect. Yeah, you can run from the effect, but I would be panicked, and I would probably run deeper into effect rather
Run
than
the wrong
run
way.
out. I'll run the wrong way.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. Citizen Joel says regarding the crossbow, it's more powerful than the 30th century sniper rifle. So if that's outbeating the P6 on a hit, and like CC said, you shoot him in the leg, that's even enough to take him out. That means it's OP. I know. Yeah, have fun with it while you can, because it's going to get adjusted. It can stay lethal, right? But again, usually the factor is time, for reloading on something like that. So we'll see how they,
back.
Yeah, we're just getting it back. Is he? What? Yeah, I mean, he's in Discord, but I'm waiting on his cam to come up. So let me get his video back in.
It is going to be having problems getting in. Can you hear me?
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, we
can hear you.
Yeah, you can.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'll be in the dark for a little bit.
Okay, no problem. We were just talking about the crossbow and the plasma grenade. Did you get a chance to monkey around with those at all? Because we already talked about flight suits.
The former, no. The latter, yes.
Okay. What's your thoughts?
Messed with the plasma grenade. The plasma grenade was interesting. I was in a mission last night where I had to go ahead and go into kill somebody that was in a derelict caterpillar.
Okay.
And I just happened to purchase a plasma grenade, and there were several people that were coming in because I was already in the ship, and I just threw a plasma grenade and just laid out the field. So it was nice to see a lot of sparkles, a lot of it's one of those AOEs, so you need to get away from that area once you throw it.
That's what fastcart would say. You can kill yourself with it if you're running there.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I felt like Emperor Palpatine once I threw it.
Oh
God!
Lord,
here we go.
Yeah,
here we go.
Here we go. Oh God. Okay, so yeah, that's the plasma grenade. It has a different design to it than the previous grenades that we had. I have not tried this out yet, so I'm gonna have to go purchase a few of them and see what they're like. Okay. Now, this is to fastcart's point. Core Tech and Audio. Virtual reality updates for those of you who are out there doing VR. You guys know that once again, Sylvan and them put out some more information regarding the VR, and also haptic feedback support. This has also been something that's been new. Once the VR came out, there was already rumblings about haptic feedback being put into the game. And those of you all who know what haptic feedback is, it's when you have these physical items that you can put on your body, or you can use. Sometimes it's a stick or a joystick, or sometimes something that you can wear, but you actually get some form of feedback from the game in response to what you're doing. And so, fastcart, are you going to put a haptic feedback pad under your butt, and you can sit there when you're riding on your ship and feel the vibration of your Banu merchantman as you ride around? What do you think?
I was thinking about the joystick. You went all the way to the butt. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, well, you want to feel like you're riding in your ship. You're riding.
No,
like this.
I am not spinning. No.
No.
Here's the thing. I've told you I'm playing Forza Horizon. I actually have a steering wheel and it has force feedback on it.
Yeah.
But it takes me 15 minutes to set that thing up, 15 minutes to take that down. So I haven't used that in years. So maybe one day I get another joystick to do that. Or maybe Virtual or the other company will add that to their joystick lineup. But until then, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. Okay.
I heard that sensation might be quite well underneath the rotor to the fast car. You might want to go ahead and experience that one moment with the haptics. I have headphones that have that. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know why CIG would waste their time doing that or whatever other, because you have to have a peripheral, wouldn't you? I mean,
Yeah, there are.
for example.
I mean, you listen. You know these people in this game. They'll go. You see some of the rigs these people put together. I'm not surprised.
That's true. I mean, Kelosal, you say waste their time. I mean, like, they're trying to make this game available for people to play it for at least 10 years, and part of that is to make it future proof. But they also, like, you know, people. That's the thing some people enjoy. Even though you could say the same thing about VR. Why waste the time putting VR in the game?
Well, VR is
different.
different.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
To both you guys' points, there's something that Chris Roberts equates this game to all the time. It was Player Ready One.
Ready Player One.
Ready Player One. And Ready Player One had that haptic stuff in it. It had the VR stuff in it. You know what I mean? So again, this is all experimental stuff that they're doing on the side. The question becomes, to Kelosal's point, you know, what market are you looking at? Because once the VR stuff came out, there were people who did not play Star Citizen who jumped into Star Citizen because they heard about it, you know. And then you've got that another level of person who spends that ridiculous money on their freaking gaming rigs because of racing or whatever, and they'll buy that haptic stuff. And I don't know anybody that's done it yet, but I guarantee you there's going to be some people with that haptic stuff. They're going to be like, I'm going to try this out, because if this game offers it at this level, they might be willing to jump in on it. It's beyond my thing, but
they may have to. They may have to partner with some type of company. For example, I have a Razer, and my Razer has it in its headphones, so I can go ahead and put it on low, medium, or high, and experience all the types of things and stuff like that. A couple of years ago, I believe around the Austin CitizenCon Drift, CIG were giving out brochures, and one of them, I believe, was having things of third partiers, like 10% here, 10% there. And I think at one point they wanted to have a keyboard that was made by Logitech or some other company with CIG stuff. Some type of keyboard that had some type of stuff dealing with Star Citizen. This could be one of those ventures that they're going back into using a third party.
I don't think that they're not. CIG's not producing it.
No. I said a third party.
Ability. Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah,
a third party where they make the outfit.
Like how they do with Toby. You mean like how they got the Toby thing? Like you get 20%. I got
correct.
You
where they make the outfit. We saw that with what's that game that the space game that is on Xbox that my brother keeps playing all the time, and Togi plays from time to time. Whatever it is, Starfield.
Oh, Starfield.
Starfield got a control made and a watch, right?
It had a
that
watch.
worked with the game. So I'm thinking on this type of thing here with that particular piece, it's probably a partnership with some type of third party.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, they're building it out for, you know, how gamers are going to play in the future, and you know, haptics might become a thing. I mean, it is like Cece was saying, you got it in joysticks. Klaus, you mentioned it, like headphones. We already have it in those peripherals, but whether it's going to go into that whole body thing and everything, it'll be interesting to see in time.
Yeah, the other thing for me is that I lack control when I'm playing on my best day. I don't need some haptic to sort of my control even more.
I know, right? Imagine that rubbing up your nipples if you got a chest hat piece, and, you know, something like that, causing your fur to grow up. I mean, you get a lot.
Some people may like that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, okay, the last thing here we had some bug fixes and technical updates. It's the Star Citizen 4.8 contained over 166 bugs and crash fixes since 4.7 went live. Now, you know, there were bugs in 4.7 still, and there's stuff that's still carried over. Mind you, this is what they just wrote down when they announced 4.8. It doesn't mean that this stuff is completely working, but they did put in fixes for a lot of this stuff. 73 of which originated from the issue council. So basically over half, not over half, just under half of what they addressed were things that you guys submitted that they addressed. Now, of course, those 73 items are not all of what's on the issue council, but they're just letting you know that they did tackle some of those things that were out there. We know there were client crash fixes, server crash fixes. And then I don't understand what the multiple main thread deadlocks are. I don't know enough about that. The other stuff
I think
can't
that's
get.
a big server crash. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure what that is. But the fact is, and this is what we were talking about earlier about their cadence. The fact that they're putting this stuff out every 2 months. Last year it was almost every month to 6 weeks. This year they gave themselves a little bit more breathing room. We're still faster than what we were before, because before it was 90 to 100 days. But now we're kind of in this, every 2 months where they've actually give us almost dates of when they want to do these drops. And so there's a lot going on. I go back to what I said at the very beginning of this episode. I still am a little bit concerned that 4.8 suffers because there was just so much stuff in it. I think that they could have probably peeled back a quarter, maybe even a third of what they dropped and issued those as point ones, point twos, point threes, and given themselves a little bit of room. I don't know what the urgency is that they felt that they needed to drop all this stuff. Maybe they needed to for some reason. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe
Griffin,
they needed to.
You say that, but then people will complain that, oh, this patch doesn't have anything in it, or there's not enough in this patch. So they can't win
people
either way.
always say that before the patch comes out, but when the patch comes out, they usually don't, right? And all I'm saying is that if they had put out Defense Con, the Free Fly, and maybe let's say if they had done the wipe, that would have been a lot. Just those 3 things. And if they had given themselves till after Defense Con was over with to say, okay, now we're going to put in the thing with the ship insurance. Right, because first of all, it doesn't really affect new players or people coming into, for not even Tactical Strike Group. They could have maybe put that in, maybe.
I'm not sure how much put that in later.
Later, right. But I'm just saying, later. If they did the insurance thing at the kiosks, that's kind of the players that play all the time that would make more sense for than people who are just coming in for the free fly. And then or if they put in Tactical Strike Group first and then put that in. I'm just, even if they're giving themselves an extra week, just so they could continue working on stuff. Because it just felt like there was just a lot of stuff going on, Again, I appreciate all the ships being in the game, but I think I haven't heard any complaints about the M80. I haven't heard any complaints about the Starlight.
Wow. Okay.
No, I'm talking about functionality.
Functionality. Okay, got it.
I haven't heard anything about the Starlight having any problems. I haven't heard anything about the little Drake Bulldog, or what's it called? The Pit Bull. I haven't heard any problems about that. But it was
the only thing I hear about the Starlight is that they feel like the container just gets small.
Well, the fuel amounts, right? But I mean, as far as functionality, though, but the Tiburon, I don't know if there were any technical issues with that ship. But I know that the Ironclad was the one, and there were 2 of those. So that is the one that I think there was a lot there. That tech of introducing that modularity to that ship was a lot. There were laser issues with the Tiburon. Okay, thank you. Escape. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Which was?
I don't know. He just says he said there were some laser issues with it, and I don't think he's talking about the main laser. It might be those side lasers. Was it the side lasers?
People loved them. I have
Escape, or was it the? Yeah, I know people have been using the big one. Same as the Idris, the hit rag. Okay. Yeah, I mean, well, that's a balancing thing. Yeah, I get what you're saying with that. Yeah. The sides are ballistics, aren't they? Yeah, I think are those laser? Those are lasers, aren't they? The side cannons.
What?
On the Tiburon. I thought they were all lasers.
Oh,
are those ballistic? Are those ballistic guys? I don't know.
I have to look. I have to look. Whoever's been on it.
Whoa,
I will say.
Star Jump Grim. Oh, Jesus.
Hey, Grim.
Grim decided to rate us right at the end of the show.
That's how it happens sometimes. Welcome later.
Love to some other folks. Hey, everybody. Welcome.
I'll give him a shout out.
Citizens. Grim, you caught us. We're just getting to the very end of everything, but we're still talking.
By the way, if people are interested, they can catch us. They can catch me and Griff on Thunder Grim 2 Fridays ago. So check that out too. So thank you.
Yeah.
Amazing streamer he is.
Colossal?
I will push back just a little bit. I don't know if this is pushback or not, but I will say that, and I will continue to say whenever they're putting out new in between patches, I wish they would close down the servers to allow them to go ahead and fix the things that they need to fix, instead of just having them in, and then when they do reopen them back up, or for a week or for a month or for 6 months or things like that. I think they need to just close them down. And I understand that may slow down the excitement that they're currently enjoying for the past several years.
When you say
in terms
close
of
down
revenue.
the servers, you mean
Shut it down all the way down. Shut everything down.
Live servers?
Everything, shut it all the way down, and give
that'll
themselves
never
time.
happen.
That's what. But I'm still, companies do it. I'm just saying that in my world, I wish they would do that to allow these fixes to happen. I know because of whatever situation that they've put themselves in, they would say it is difficult or impossible to do so. That's something that they decide to go ahead and put themselves in the bed with. But normally you would, in an alpha state, you would shut her down for a short brief of time, so you can go ahead and fix the things that you need to fix without any types of complaints or issues.
I don't know if that would do it though, buddy. I hear what you're saying. The way that they fix stuff is by us playing it, not by shutting it down. When you shut it down, there's no data.
Well, I would argue against that. I would argue against that.
Let me
finish. Go ahead.
So passionate. Jeez, OP.
No, I was just saying, go ahead.
The fact that they are, as they're fixing, right? If they did shut down and they start fixing it, it would be no different than when they go to PTU. And sometimes we play PTU, and you said it earlier, we'll play PTU. I've had those patches where PTU was fine, and then as soon as it goes live, it falls apart. Right? So that it wouldn't prevent that from happening. They could think they fix it, and they do that all the time. We get the patch notes and they say, we think we fixed it. And then when it goes out to the group, once those millions of people or thousands of people hit it, all this stuff starts popping up. And so if you shut it down for a period of a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 months, yeah, they're addressing what they got notes on. But when they release it again, it's coming out, it's going to break. It's going to break because of the fact that this is a live service. I'm not sure it would. And then you got people sitting around for 2-3 months and they're not playing the game. You start losing interest. People start going to do other stuff. I mean, the agreement that they've made is what keeps it from happening. I hear what you're saying. If it started out that way from the very beginning and that's the agreement that everybody would go with, then yes to what you're saying. But the fact that they've established that it's going to be a live service and that you can play it in alpha, we're stuck with it.
Well, I mean, but that's pretty much the standard, right? There are games, every game that we've played have all done that.
This game made the standard. I hear you.
I get it. But I'm just saying that the other side of the argument is it has worked for some companies. It could work for CIG, but to just simply say, well, they make it bed hard, they got to lie in it, it's just to accept the status quo where they're at right now. So that, I mean, people are complaining right now that they haven't fixed this, they haven't fixed that, they haven't fixed this, they haven't fixed that. And every time they put in a new ship, and here we go with 4.8 and all these things in 4.8, but yet they haven't fixed the things that we're getting all these complaints with the same, let's keep the system open. So that would be in a typical standard place. I understand this is not a standard thing with CIG. Things change. AI come in, woohoo! I get it, but that could at least alleviate some headaches versus just having something open and people testing. And I don't know how much more tests you could get on a laser that's broken, and things. I don't know how much more tests you can get with a door that doesn't open. So I mean, sometimes you just got to shut things down just to give your crew time to fix the details.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, we are toward the end here. FC, do we have any questions?
No Q&A.
No questions? Oh my God! That's because everybody was saying what they
we
were
answered
thinking.
we answered all the questions people have in chat. And also no joke ban, so I need to work harder.
Oh my God! Yeah.
You started off with a good one. You had a couple of good ones today, fastcart. Bravo to you, fastcart today, because it was good.
All righty then. Oh my God. Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you so much for the community subs. Thank you so much for that. Who
Escape
did
Bear,
that?
thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for closing us out with that. We really appreciate that, and thank you guys for hanging out with us. Even though we're at the end of the show, I see most of you guys have hung around from Grim Show. I hope Grim had a great show today. We're supposed to be, you know, at Fastcart, we're supposed to be going back on Grim Show at some point because he said he wanted us to come back for something. So
we're supposed to have him on us
with the
one
stories
together.
Yeah, but I know. But when we were there, they said, remember his partner said, we want you guys to come back. I forget. There was something that they want us to come back for. I don't know. But anyway, thank you guys for being here. And Grim, thank you as always. We appreciate that. I'm glad you guys had a good night. We hate the fact that sometimes we're all streaming at the same time. We don't get to watch stuff. I can only catch Grim most of the time on Friday nights when he does that show. But we appreciate you guys being here with us
I tend to watch them after.
I'm talking about in real time. I know I ain't talking about replays. I'm talking about real time. We can't watch them in real time. Okay. Let's get ready to talk about what we've got coming up on next week. Where is it at? Next week. We are going to be doing a show called Next Castra. As you guys know, we are in the system of Nix, and following Nix, CIG talked about the fact that Castra would be following after that. Thank you for whoever did that donation over on YouTube. I am so sorry that my picture is blocking it. Oh my God, I hate when that happens because I can't see who is sending what to us.
Maybe I can see who it is.
Somebody subscribed on YouTube. Thank you. Bretley, thank you. We see it now. They're all popping up.
Oh, you see it? Okay.
I've got to move that to the front. I don't know why that moved back behind stuff. But thank you guys for, there's so many people over there. Thank you for all of you who are subscribing. We appreciate that. To next week, we're going to be doing the show on Castra. We're going to be going through the lore of Castra. We're going to go back to CitizenCon 2954, where they gave us the whole outline of what that's going to look like. We're going to talk about that a little bit next week. So hopefully you guys will be able to join us on next Sunday as we cover the idea of Castra in the game. Yeah, go ahead, FC.
So Atmos is reminding me we got a producer's show coming up too. I think it's already available for members.
It's out for our Patreon and YouTube people. It's out already. It'll be out on Tuesday. It'll be out on Tuesday.
For the rest of
we did a show called the All-Father of War. It's our evaluation of the Odin. So if you guys want to check that out, that'll be out on Tuesday. And again, if you're already one of our subscribers of Patreon or YouTube, you guys should already have access to it. You can check it out as well. And I think that is about it. Who are we going to look at tonight, FC? You got anybody on the list for us?
I got Waze. They have a camera and everything. So Waze. I put it in streaming alerts.
My thing was on the wrong thing. I was looking at something else here. Okay, Raze. Okay.
And before I forget, I have to make this request. This is from Hoppers. Attend to me while I prepay. That's a quote that someone wanted me to say on the air. So they dared me. So blame the darers.
You don't have to do what darers tell you to do. All right. We're going to be sending you guys over with Raze. They're doing some cargo running. When you get over there, if you like what you see, let her know that you came over from the Soul Citizens. Those of you who are subscribing on YouTube, thank you all so much for being here. Again, to Star Jump Grim, to Trip Rodriguez, thank you guys for supporting us as always. And we're going to look forward to seeing you guys on next Sunday. Make sure you guys stop by and see us. And don't forget to check out the producers. That'll be out on Tuesday. Until then, as we always tell you guys, stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Thank you, Fastcart. Thank you, Colossal. Colossal's invisible, but he's here. Thank you guys for being here tonight. And
those Drake parts.
We'll see you guys later. Take care of yourselves. Peace, love, and soul.